We're here today to make the world's famous old-fashioned cocktail. When they come into the distillery, they ask me, Mike, what's your favorite drink? And I have to say that my favorite drink is the old-fashioned. The oldest known drink written down in America in 1806, or so the lore says, typically was only 3 things in the old-fashioned back then. And if you think about it, back in 1806, there wasn't a lot of fruit laying around. It's 50 years before the Civil War. So the 3 main ingredients to the old-fashioned were any type of distilled spirit, and this is the whiskey, and then actually whiskey became the staple for it. Bitters, there's many types of bitters back then. Now there's a few. Angostura, this is Peychaud's orange bitters, and of course, simple syrup or sugar. So these 3 ingredients mixed together became the old-fashioned, and the name old-fashioned became old because it was the oldest known drink in the U.S. That's when cocktails were actually born. Now let's fast forward past Prohibition, about 1918. The challenge with back then is that the alcohol that was being produced in Prohibition was poisonous and really kind of terrible tasting. So that's when oranges and cherries and all the different muddling came in. So we're going to do it 2 ways. We're going to do the classic old-fashioned, the 1806 version, and then we'll do the post-Prohibition version as well. So let's go with the old one. We're going to stir this cocktail, so we're going to add ice to it right in the beginning. Then we're going to add, again, 2 ounces of MurLarkey Heritage Old Country Whiskey. This is 70% corn whiskey, 30% malted barley and rye. Then we're going to add a ½ ounce of amaro syrup to it, and we're going to add 4 dashes of bitters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to stir this cocktail, and they say stir it 20 times because that allows the ice not to melt too bad, and it works quite well. Once stirred, it's also a nice little show. Once stirred, we're going to take the rocks glass, or actually as it's known as the old-fashioned glass, made just for this cocktail, pour the ice and all in the cocktail. And then my little trick, and what I like to do, is I like to take a fresh orange, slice off a peel right on the end, and then squeeze some of the essential oils out into the drink. And that is an 1806 old-fashioned. Let's fast forward 110 years, and now we're in Prohibition times. We're going to make the new old-fashioned, the ones your grandparents had. For this one, we're going to take some ice. We're going to measure it out into the glass, and I'm going to pour it into my stir. And then what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to make my drink right in my glass. So we're going to start by doing our muddle. So the first ingredients we're going to put in is we're going to put our bitters in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to take an orange slice right from the fresh orange, nice and thin. Again, you don't want to overpower it with juice. You want to just be able to have the essential oils come in. We're going to add a little bit of the turbinado sugar, just a smidge. We're going to add a spoonful of bar sugar. And then we're going to add club soda. And they say club soda because it actually helps the sugar granulize. See how that fizzes up there and allows everything to sort of blend together in a much more smooth way. Now we muddle. Now this isn't a caipirinha muddle. We're not trying to macerate the fruit into oblivion. We're just trying to get out the oils, the essential oils, and the fruit juice there. Once that's accomplished, we're going to add our whiskey. 2 ounces of MurLarkey Heritage Old Country Whiskey. Once that's added there, we're going to stir it up. And we are going to add back to the cocktail and then back into the glass. And then, as always, we garnish with a cherry. So there you have it. This is the post-Prohibition old-fashioned, and this is the 1806 classic.